Hey, what's up? It's your boy Stephen McCoy, and you are listening to Sessions with Stephen. Now, today I'm so excited because this is the first official episode. Now, what we're going to be speaking about is holding yourself back. That is the topic for today, holding yourself back. Now, I felt like this title was so appropriate for the first episode because I actually recorded the introduction a whole year ago, which is crazy. I was a little nervous to continue the show because in the video that I uploaded on YouTube in the introduction, I offered advice and I put in the email asksteven@gmail.com. That's asksteven@gmail.com. Now, I got responses, right? And people were actually, they had a deep questions, and I was so afraid of it for some reason. Well, I knew the reason why because that meant if I have to help these people, I have to be honest with these people. I didn't want to give any political answer or a half answer. You know what I mean? I wanted to really be authentic, and I was afraid to be personal. Now, all my life, now I just want to let you guys know. Taking it, just I want to rewind a little bit. Now, when I was younger in kindergarten, um, there was this little boy who always said, "Hey, you talk like a girl." Now listen, I've never heard that before. This is in kindergarten, but in that moment, I knew that I was different. I knew I was different from all the other kids. And then, there was another boy that said it, and my feelings was really hurt because of course, as a child, you want to fit in. You want to, have friends, and that's something that it just was a moment that I realized that I was different. Then it turned into, you're gay. Now, let me let you guys know. I never knew what gay meant. I didn't know what that was. And I had to go home, and I was so hurt. And I said, people keep calling me gay. That's what I told my mother. And she's like, what? They're calling you gay? What? Why are they calling you gay? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what that is. And she explained it to me when a girl kisses a girl, when a boy kisses a boy. And I'm like, what? No, I never. And the truth is, I never thought about that ever. It wasn't, that wasn't even in my mind at all. I actually had a little girl question in kindergarten. So it was crazy to me that they were saying these things. And in my mind, as a little boy, I have never even thought about these things. I don't know how these little kids even knew some of the stuff that they knew at a young age. But growing up, my mother has always made sure that I remained a child, and I had a very good childhood. So with that being said, I kept quiet because I was afraid that once I opened up my mouth, people would say something. Now, because I kept quiet, there were so many thoughts building up in my head that I would actually write poetry and stories and scripts in my room all day long until I couldn't write anymore. And I would read all day, even read in the dark, like till it went dark. And my grandmother used to get on me because she's like, "Your eyes are gonna be messed up if you keep reading in the dark." And she was right, because my eyes used to be really good, but now it's like, but but it was just it was crazy. But I always say I don't speak unless my words are better than my silence. And I think that comes from me writing and reading a lot. Because me being silent and actually thinking out my thoughts, it helped me to be a better speaker. I was holding myself back even from this podcast because it has made me very personal. When you're a writer and you write personal things on paper, those things are personal. You keep them to yourself. So I never went around and just told people anything. But, being in the entertainment industry and being in front of the camera, people have always asked for advice and always wonder, how was it interviewing this person? How was it interviewing that person? Even things like that is still personal to me. It's crazy. Like whatever is not on camera is personal to me. So I value the relationships that I've built. But I wanted to help someone. There's a lot of people that ask for advice, and I just thought, you know what, a podcast would be perfect. And let's talk about the topic that everyone is so uncomfortable to talk about. And that's why Sessions with Steven is a show that's needed. Everyone wants to be politically correct. The reason why I've always been politically correct because I worked for companies that were that way. Basically, it was like my success became a little bit more of a trapping in additional to my personal experiences. So it was more safe for me. And I'm happy that I got to a point where in this moment, you know what? I'm gonna let people know what it is. And for anyone out there that is holding yourself back, you really need to stop. You need to sit down and think, okay, why am I holding myself back? Go back, do some research on yourself and figure out what is that little glitch that why are you afraid to take that jump? Because it is important. You don't want to leave this world without you left this world all worked out, worn out. Really? You're not gonna I think it's just important to live your life. Be happy. Make that time. Take a trip. Do something. Always have that time for yourself and to be happy. You have to chase that so that at the end of your lifetime, at least you could say, you know what? Well, at least I tried. At least I lived my life. Because life is very short. We're here for a very short amount of time and it goes by so fast. And then you wake up. Some people, they one day they're here and then one day they're not. And it's almost like, oh my God, wow, I can't believe this happened. But the same thing can happen to you too. And you need to think, I need to do exactly what I'm called here to do. Your calling. You need to do what you feel in your heart that you're supposed to do. I feel like that's what I believe. And it was just a long time in the making for me for this podcast period because it took again 10 years for me to do this podcast because people in high school were always requesting that this is when YouTube was getting hot and they always wanted me to do a show because of my personality. They always thought I was funny. But yeah, it's just something that I really had to think about over time. I said to myself, you know what? I'm doing this podcast and I'm going to share my experiences and everything that I need to share and express to you guys. And I want to give you everything that I have. I want to give you my story. I want to give you my laugh, my love. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. And please, if you feel like you're holding yourself back, stop it right now and start today. Don't start tomorrow, start today. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Hey, subscribe now.